to happen. No, it's more if you continue to play the lines of these little small matters of what I call EPM, every play matters, and you're about 15, they're not going to have clean looks. Purdue's going to play with a sense of urgency. We keep playing with a sense of priority. This is how you win ball games.
Yep. Yeah. And it always seems like, and I know this is kind of true for everybody, but it always seems like that people especially younger players, they feed off of that and have more consistency at doing that when they're at home. And you see a big difference in the ones on the road are usually they do that all the time, the ones that have that experience, but it's that energy and that sound that comes in from Assembly Hall where you can't hear the person behind you from 2 feet
Yes.
away. That right
Yes.
there is it's like hitting the NOS button in one of those Fast and Furious movies. I mean,
Yes.
it's a different energy.
Hey, I would love to hear from you because I got a great story. I still remember like it happened yesterday. When the first time that happened for you? What you remember? You remember the game? You remember the exact moment that happened where again you couldn't hear yourself think?
It was a Michigan State game. I can't remember. I think it was my sophomore year. AJ Gotton hit a shot late, but I remember being at the free throw line and like Dane Fife like said he was just like yelling at me about something, and I'm like I never heard you like, and he was like 3 inches from me, and it was just people don't understand. I don't know what the decibel level is in there, but like you cannot hear inches away from you. It's insane.
Great story. My freshman year, playing against the University of Kansas at home. Brian Evans knocks down the three, and the arena erupted. And I mean, you talk about goosebumps. Just again because you're young. You're a freshman year. You're young. You're a freshman. You're just going excited. You're just excited, and all of a sudden, Kansas called timeout. Right? Roy Williams was the coach at the time. That's the first time again. It's almost like deafening. And also the momentum that you also feel. And another great point you brought up is younger players. What also happens to younger players, Kirk? You're kind of tied to how the ball goes in the hole.
Yeah.
As the ball goes, your game goes. And I think you're seeing that great. And sometimes I think you need that vote of confidence, right? So you get older, like Trace, you don't really need to see the ball go there. You know you're going to get your touches. But like with Malik Renault, with Jalen Hudson-Fino, with Tamar Bates, like I think the energy they're bringing is they've been successful. Even Miller Kopp, man, I think, that off-ball play is they're putting the ball in the hole. I mean, that also helps.
And I think it always helps when teams and coaches and benches put an emphasis on other plays that they're getting hyped about. And so then when you see that, it's like a kid getting a report card or a gold star. If all of a sudden you're going nuts for that guy took a charge and everybody jumps off the bench the same way as a dunk, people it's they're wanting that reward. We're doing this. Deflection.
Yes.
You want to do it again.
Exactly.
I might be a couple of seconds behind you on delay. The way my system's
here set
up.
We're going to sync up, because you might be ahead of. See, right now for me, it says 1935 right now. What you got?
I'm at 1930, so I'm going to be a little bit behind, but I'll make up.
Yeah, so we'll give or take, and that tip we'll get better there. I wish we could actually have the cast itself, right? But it's all good. Yeah, so we'll sync up. I know we'll sync up.
What was the first time that you were in Assembly Hall?
Say it again.
What was the first time that you were in Assembly Hall? Was it on a recruiting visit?
It was a recruiting visit. First time. Oh, we just missed the layup. Yeah, first time I was there was box out. First time I was there was what was it called? Drawing a blank. What we call the first practice.
Like the Hoosier hysteria type thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what they call it now. But
Midnight Madness.
Yeah, Midnight Madness. First time I actually watched it. Hey, let me give you something about Trace. I want you to pay attention to. When he's on the left block, he goes baseline. Makes sense. There's no, when he's on the right side, he goes to the midline. And I want them to become more aware of that because he makes more plays for his teammates when he's on the right side versus on the left side.
I'd like to see him face up, a little reverse
Yeah.
pivot face up some, because he's such a
exactly.
good passer. Give
Yes.
himself a little vision, and he's got such a quick first step that I'd like to see what defenses do against him when he faces up, because you can't crowd him or he'll explode past you. So it increases his vision, and he can work both ways a little bit more.
And to your point, they're running 3 at him. Now with a face up, you got more vision to see where that help is coming from. And we did a good job of that, actually, by getting the ball to the top of the key, then swing to the weak side.
Hey, I think I know something might help me. Next commercial break, I'm going to flip around and I'm going to watch my feed behind me, because I just noticed I think I'm ahead here than I am on my iPad.
Okay.
So I'm just going to flip. I'll flip around, but
yeah, we'll get it all synced up, man. All right, Jalen. Yeah, we got to get more driving actions. I mean, more downhill solutions to put more pressure on them. I think we did a good job of that first half. We got a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of fouls called. Right, we made plays happen. We found the passing open receivers. We found great opportunities. Stay down, Trace. That's us. They got to be.
I still can't believe Dick Vitale's doing games.
Yeah. He's losing his voice a little bit. I don't know if that's excitement. He's kind of going in and out, but you're going to give a guy like that the benefit of the doubt, right? It's all good.
He's had those vocal cords on max for a lot of years. Yeah.
I'm also going to send you the link to the game stats, because I think again, as we continue to improve our viewing, right now the game stats are 16-11. What do you got?
I'm sorry, 16-11.
Yeah, no, 16 minutes 11 seconds. Of the game stat.
Yeah, I'm about 8 seconds behind on
that.
that.
So again, I've been give or take about the same thing. So we're good. We're safe. Like watch what happens. Look where he's at. See, swing. That's okay. See, he's not as aggressive when he's on the right side.
No, you're right.
He's not. I mean, he's not as aggressive. On the left, it's almost like a magnet. He goes.
That's a good. That's a good catch by you.
Say it again.
That's a good catch by you. I hadn't really picked up on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing against it. When he's on the right side, it's more of a hold weight.
Yeah.
Versus if no one's on the baseline, you have no help. Just spin, and then he has footwork. You're gonna find your feet. See, okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, watch this. Watch this. See, we don't need to settle. Lace them up and really come to play. For the last 15 minutes, which Purdue has come out with vengeance here in this half. Roll, good help.
Yeah.
Box out. That's great. That's the kind of help that we need.
At Maryland, they were either staying on the weak side too much.
Weak side was not there.
Or they would overhelp too much. Instead of stunting and getting back, they would just commit to a guy.
Correct. Yep, you got it. And that's, again, for me, a lot of that was on Malik Renault. As a freshman, you got to be more aware of that. You'll get better at that. We now need a downhill solution right now, Kirk. We need attack. Look. Hey, Kirk, what I tell you, Kirk? What I tell you, man? Hey, I'm telling you. Hey, see, these are the things that, again, as an older, wiser, whatever you want to call it, and also somebody like, these are things that I'm trying to give players tendencies, right?
Yeah.
I just simply know your personnel. Trace is a beast.
He is.
On the left side. There's no stopping. It's a magnet. On the right side, that's where we got to give him more solutions.
Yeah, he's got to start really kind of doing some mirror drills and just trying to replicate and try to get that other hand just as comfortable.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna put my camera down for 1 second and flip around, and I'm gonna watch it on this TV. I'll be right back.
Okay. Great observations from Kirk Haston so far. I mean, this is the whole point of the show. Just insight that sometimes I think as fans we miss. And what better way to get it from a guy like Kirk, that's a former NBA player, but also was a beast at IU. So this is great. I love talking shop like this, watching basketball, and also sharing with fans. I love this. But I was saying, Kirk, I just love this the insight that we're able to provide the fans watching the show, and the small things that again that it's not just that jump shot you miss. It's like what led to it, the effort that you're giving every play, and then the tendencies.
Yeah, that was one of the things that just blew my mind. I mean, I had a really good high school coach
Yeah.
that I thought, wow, I'm going to be prepared for the kind of scouting level. I mean, we would watch film, the entire, all 15 of us in his little office watching some game film. And then I went to Indiana and I learned like what game film prep was. And it was just like, hey, after you come into class, we've got you three guys coming in because you three guys are going to watch this film breakdown on these three guys. And you're going to focus on these three guys. Here's their tendencies. Study this. And I mean, I was just like, and I think that at one point that they got to doing box out percentages. And I was
Yeah.
just like, box out percentages, what a genius thing to take a look at is the amount of percentages to the times that you're making contact on guys,
Yes. Yes.
and, because everybody always says, hey, box out, box out. But then when you start quantifying it and be like, hey, we went through a stretch there where I was at like 45% of my box out percentages. And I'm like, well, I've got to get that up or I'm going to get called out every day in practice. And so once you start quantifying stuff and giving evidence to it, it's pretty fun.
Well, it's another layer to your skill progression you can practice because once you quantify it, you can identify it. Now you can have practice reps in it, right? The coaches are getting their reps in preparation, and we're getting our reps. I mean, even down to the space and place, Kurt, where they would chart practice. I mean,
Yeah.
we talking about the same stats of practice.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I was a red shirt, those stat sheets we got from practice was all I had. And so
Yes.
I was like, when I went home for Christmas, that was like my proof that I was actually doing anything. It was like,
Exactly.
Here, Granddad, Mom, I'm actually doing something.
You're doing something. Exactly.
Those practices and stats, I think it was really important that the more that you can make the games or practices feel like games, the games come so much easier.
Well, that's the game and game strategy, right?
Yep.
It's like even playing to the TV timeouts, right? Even playing to every 4 minutes, even playing to the TV timeout. It's trying to find small advantages that you become more aware of. That's what I call IQ. This is more of a higher awareness of what's going on to perspective.
And I looked and I seen him going 3 feet away from the goal, little jumpers, 4 or 5 in a row, go to the next spot. So I yelled at him, Mike, what are you doing there, Frank?
You have any comps that you think that Edie reminds you of from college or anybody you watched in the pros anywhere?
I mean, given that this is his 5th year of basketball experience, I can't compare it to anybody other than Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid was a raw player who never touched the basketball. Have you ever seen him play high school?
I like that. That's pretty good. I was thinking in college, as far as just what I feel like those defenders are feeling like trying to move him is the way I felt, I think, when I was going against Evan Eschmeyer.
Yeah. No question.
Because people ask me all the time, like, well, what's the strongest guy you ever played against? And I was like, well, I said, one guy that always shocks people, I was like, Jerry Jeffries had the strongest legs of about anybody I remember trying to move. Like, you couldn't move him. He didn't look huge, but like you couldn't move. But Evan Eschmeyer was like trying to move a telephone pole with your hands. Like, it was unbelievable.
That's a great observation in itself. Oh, Evan Eschmeyer. See, a guy like that, don't let him go left shoulder, right? You're sitting on that left shoulder. I mean, it's like little small stuff like that. So, like, this is again where I want Trace to get better at being able to go right or left shoulder. See, this is what I love about our defense right now, man. We're playing tight defense, good help. Yeah. Oh, close out. Box out. Box out. You can't let Zach. Come on, man.
I also like the hockey sweater Purdue style that she is sporting at the game. That's good stuff.
Oh, I need this. I'm gonna send this game stat to you, Kirk.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you so you have it.
That foul on the floor. It's called on Trace Jackson Davis. Only his first. You see the more confidence that Purdue's playing with right now. More look at his going to the goal strong. In the mid-range.
I just sent it to you.
All right, thanks.
Yes, sir. See, we need. See, okay. Swing. Get it back. Back on the right side. So let's see what Trace does. See, not sure. You can't do that, Jalen. You can't get that deep. You don't know what to do. He's looking around. You can't do that. You got to pull that back out. We don't need. See, here's where we got to get better. You get downhill past that free throw line, you got to have more of an awareness of what to do as a ball handler. He got too deep.
Yep.
He got way too deep with no solution. No. I want to see Trace be more active right now. Like just sitting right there right now, just sitting on the block. Like, I want to see him be, unless it's a set play to keep him on the right side, I want to see him be more active. See, like right here, like I don't know what you saw commercial-wise, but he's getting downhill. You're not going to shoot a one-hand hook shot against a 7-foot guy.
No.
You need to either pull him back out to create a mismatch,
yeah,
a backup dribble, right, or swing the basketball. Here we go again. See, that's what I'm saying. Oh, God. Kirk, come on, man.
I always – was in high school, it always drove me crazy that my point guards or my guards, it was like once they drove in and touched the paint, it was like, I have to get rid of the ball. I have to pass or I have to shoot. I'm like, just whatever place you just left from, you can dribble usually right back out of there if it's from the wing. Or do the Steve Nash and just do that little loopity-loop dribble on the baseline until you find somebody. That just always kills people.
Yep. So I call that. So I teach that, Kirk. We call that the probe dribble. So you don't have a scoring solution going to the baseline. Just probe. Just reset.
That's much better than looping. That's much better than.
No. I mean, now you're in my angle. I gotta give you the name, man. Like, we gotta come up with a name with you, right? We gave you the statement, right? It's nothing but it's a probe dribble. You gotta keep your probe, keep your attack alive, right? Come on, here we go. This is a big possession for us. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Come on, man. I'm surprised they didn't call 3 seconds. I don't think that happens if you call 3 seconds.
I agree. Yeah, he just loves throwing that shoulder.
Yeah. Well, again, that's still to your point, the rawness of him as a younger player. Still in the game. Look, right, see, again, you can't position when you're 7 foot. You can get away when you're 5'9".
Yeah.
When you're 7 foot tall, you can't do that.
What big guys don't realize, and guards, I think, pick up, and small forwards pick up on sooner, is that you don't have to create space with that contact there. If you do that quick shoulder fake, that is liquid gold. You just give that quick little like that, and it freezes the guy. You don't have to back him up every time, especially if you get an early foul, then you really have to kind of back up and go more towards like your finesse scale of like, well, I can't. Now, if you get late in the game and it's a physical game and they're not calling fouls, you can try to be a little bit more physical. But you gotta work with what the officials are giving you too. You gotta. By the way, speaking of the officials, I got into it with Jay Billis on Twitter not a while back because I put on there. I was like, now's the time in high school and college. We need to go to 6 fouls.
Right.
Because the history of 5 fouls is crazy. It was established in 1943. And think about how much more physical it is, how many more possessions it is, and just how stupid it is that we have guys that work all year, all week in high school and in college to play. And because of a 50-50 call, they have to come out because they got. Can you imagine in football if an offensive lineman got a second holding call in the first quarter, and the announcers were like, "Well, we're going to go see him until the third quarter. He's only got that's the second holding call." I mean, how stupid! I mean, it's just so arbitrary.
Well, it's no different than expanding the 3-point line, right? The shot, right? No different than something happened. People started shooting jump shots more. Now let's reward them one more point. There's an evolution.
Yeah.
There's an evolution to this game. So you're right on, man.
Well,
you got to evolve because again, people get that court's getting smaller, man. We're talking about look, small ball play. You got taller guards. You got now every player now. It's almost all 5 positions shooting a 3-point shot. Right. I mean, even to that point, you got it. The game is expanding. That's a great point.
Well, you think about it too. Also, it drives me crazy in overtime. We give the coach an extra timeout because we didn't design the game for enough timeouts for the coaches.
Don't give extra fouls, brother.
Screw the players. If we go to 3 overtimes, you're screwed.
Hey, I remember fouling out against Purdue my sophomore or junior year, and we went overtime. And I mean, I had a really good game. But now here it is, you're penalized for that exact same point. Because now we get extra timeout as a team, but the players didn't get extended playing time to prove it.
I've been into it with our local high school association trying to get some rule changes, and that's like 2 things that I've brought up, and it's just like a snail's pace to get anything like that changed.
Yeah, well, because again, you becoming a maverick, man. You're trying to get people to expand their horizon. You can't see it more than what it is right now. You're right on.
I think Trace Jackson Davis got at least a Golden Globe nomination. But well done. Talking about
right now in the simulcast,
interesting as well, 80 with 3 fouls, staying in the game, not getting any kind of
on the game stats, it's 11:42. My TV's 11:55.
Okay. I'm gonna pause it a little bit. I'm actually a little bit ahead of you now.
Okay, you're good.
My TV, so
you're good.
I'm a little bit ahead, so I'm going to pause it for a little bit.
Hey, no, you're fine. Trace went to the left side. What happened? He scored.
He scored going to the left side. Yep.
I don't know why we don't see this. Like, keep him on the left side. Box out. Close out. Get down there. Just sit down. Good. See, this is the defense I'm talking about right here. This is a defense. Tough shot. I don't mind that.
Now, they earned that one.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that kind of a shot. All right, here we go.
Whew.
Okay. The dude is a monster on the left side.
He is.
Why don't we pick up on this? Stop going to the right. I'm sorry.
There should be 4 or 5 different angles and sets that they have and calls just to, change it up, like screening in from the elbow, back screen from the same side elbow, low baseline, high baseline, and just mix it up constantly, but get him in that area. Get him in that.
And they got a set, Kirk, where point guard comes down, passes the ball, does a UCLA cut through, but then he does a up screen, like a diamond screen, to get Trace going to the left side. I haven't seen it in action yet. Like, I think this is now this is a great time to run an action right now. Right? You're up by 10. Continue to run that cross screen action, small on big. They can't switch it to put pressure on. Oh, too deep. See, too deep. You don't go behind Zach on that. You put pressure on. There's no need to go behind that. There's no need to go behind that. There was no need to do that. Again, stop. Travel. Like, again, now This is the time to run an action, man. Get Jalen Josefino to pass the ball to the left. UCLA cut through, set it down the screen, traces on the high post area, get him down to the block area, let him go once. Get into some success actions on 3 or 4 or 5 passes. Not off 1 or 2, and now everybody looks lost on these ghost cuts. I call them ghost cuts and ghost screens now in basketball. It's like action that leads to nothing.
He also needs to. I mean, I think he can start baiting some of this. I mean, they're coming in from a long ways away to trip it, like almost sending a third guy from him. He can really start baiting it if he'll just like bait him with a dribble and then immediately look at that guy.
Yes.
Man.
We did that the first half.
Yeah.
That's how we got a lot of lobs to the rim. He was coming down the middle. We did that in the first half.
Yep.
See, we're going away from that. You got to have a solution. Come on, man. You're not going anywhere. You're not. Yeah. See, now you run that action for Malik. That's what you do. You got to trust Malik. Let him grow up right now. Run that action with Malik we're talking about right now. Now let Trace be the offside guy, the weak side guy. Stay down, Malik. Come on, Jalen. Come on. You can't be late, Jalen. Whoa.
Wow.
Jeez. Hey, say what you want. That dude is athletic.
Yeah.
Not only is he tall, he is athletic.
Yeah.
What a block. Jeez.
That's high level
impressive.
right there. Yeah.
Yes.
That's Andre Patterson territory.
Yeah, seriously. Off the ground, so whip, Drake. Hey, Edie just did similar play where he got called for a charge, like you said, that lean in.
Yeah.
Even though all you got to do is just shimmy, shake, or just spin to win. I call spin to win. He had to shimmy, fall back into. Now that time, the defender also was in action as well.
You could really take a roll the dice on pulling the chair out from underneath him one time, and he might just fall over.
Yes.
He really leans.
Right?
He really leans heavy early.
Yeah. Yep. And that's that strategy we call move the chair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is when this is kind of to me where it's like, okay, the referees, do we want to keep it balanced? We got the calls going the first half.
Yeah.
Please don't let this come down to that. 3 seconds. My God. This is when I'm yelling as a player. 3, 3, 3. I'm yelling. I mean, you gotta say you need an extra voice to help off a guy like that, man. Big play. We need a solution. Set it. See what I'm saying? See the old adage, you cannot get below the free throw line with no scoring solution.
No.
You can't do that. We're doing that too much.
Yeah, just getting caught up off balance.
Off balance because we're looking around. All right, Jalen, hold them off. Come on. Oh, man. Hey, now, I'm being empathetic on their foul, but you got to finish off 2 feet, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You somebody's behind you, around you. You got a jump stop right here. You jump stop. It's an N one, right? And again, I'm correcting more than critiquing.
Yeah.
That's a jump stop, flyby.
The guy goes, he's out of there.
And the momentum has swung back your way. These are things that you learn when you get older. Someone's around you. Here's what I tell people, Kirk, this simple. I do this. When you're alone, when you're by yourself, finish off 1 foot. When someone is next to you, finish off 2. Bottom line.
We were in a game at Ohio State, and I late in the second half, I found myself on a rare fast break, and and it goes through your head because I mean it was tight game, and it goes through your head. It's like if I don't dunk this, somebody's going to say something and make fun of me. You know, it's all this is going through your head. But I'm like, if I miss a dunk, then I'm underneath the bus for a while and probably maybe not playing the next game. And so I went down, and it was the most. I told you, you called me earlier today. I was at a junior pro game. It was the most junior pro. Like there was hardly anybody around me, and I jump stopped and like off the glass. I mean, it was like straight out of Hoosiers. I mean, it was Norman Brown would have given me a high five for it because I was like, I'm not messing this up.
Hey, man, smart, man. Hey, look, you don't want to miss. Finish off 2 feet, man. That's simple. Just finish off 2, right? I mean, yeah, it's not a dunk, and you're right. They might say something, but you got the 2 points, and you didn't embarrass yourself.
Hey, Temple got beat one time against us at home because Barnes, I think, tried to do like a 360 late and missed it, and we ended up, I think, beating them in overtime, and he missed that 360 late. The next day, had Barnes call Coach Knight to apologize about trying to do the dunk that he missed, and I was like, "That's old school."
Wow! What a story! What a story! What a story! Right now, it's immediate timeout. 7:32 left in the game. What do you think are going to be the keys for us to pull this out?
I think that you've already touched on it. Our guards have got to have a plan when they go in when they're attacking, and if they don't, they just need to at least plan B and C is just at least jump stop on balance where you can still have a chance to make a play. Don't get on that. Don't commit to something that you don't know, and it's like, oh, I've got to shoot it now. I'm already committed. And don't get in that 1 foot floater that from 12 feet. I mean, it's just I don't know what the percentages would be, but I bet you on the times that the ball has touched the paint, whether on a pass, especially on a pass, but every time the ball has at least touched the paint, I bet you our shooting percentage is 15, 20 points higher than what it is when we just kind of move it around and pull up.
Because it's been purposeful. I mean, I think to your point, it's been on purpose versus getting below the free throw line with no scoring solution, pull the ball, pull it back out, or just stop. Because we were successful. Jalen was successful and Trey was successful in the first half at actually having a game plan. Zach Edey or a defender will drop their coverage. They will just stop and pull up for a shot. You give a chance, a solid opportunity for your teammates for offensive rebound. Let's see what happens.
25 points, 15 rebounds, and what was once an Indiana 16-point lead is down to 4. I think when he adds that Player of the Year award, which I can't see anybody overtaking him to be the National Player of the Year, that's going to put him right there in terms of special situation.
Let's see what happens here.
See how Indiana responds and just lead down to 4. Last time they came to 5, as you said, Bob.
That's the action we was running right. See, drop coverage. See, drop coverage. See, that's the action right there. You can't help. Get Trace on the left side. Let him get a little pick and roll after you said the actions earlier. He's stopping. He's going straight up and down. Stay down. Help.
Hey, what's your time right now on the game?
6 minutes and 49 seconds.
All right, that's exactly where I'm at.
Okay, yeah, because I think all three are set. We're set. We're simulcasting. We're locked in. The game is locked in, and also the game stats locked in too.
Good.
What are they looking for?
I still can't get used to that giant scoreboard and screen when I go to Assembly Hall to watch games.
Yeah, and you saw what happened a couple games ago. They said a middle piece fell.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, like a middle piece came off. It was like, yeah.
I never would in pre-games. I never would stretch underneath scoreboards. I always just had – I was like I don't know if any of them it's ever fallen, but I don't want to be underneath the first
Right,
one.
I hear that.
I
Yeah,
always stretch to the side.
I hear that.
It looks like a couple of different times something landed on the court, so they just made an announcement.
Uh-oh.
One more object is thrown by the fans.
Okay, come on, fans. Come on, fans. It's like earlier when we had a little scrimmage. I'm like, we don't need that. We don't need that little fight stuff.
No, that extra stuff never goes our way, it seems like.
Yeah.
Smith makes the great drive, but there's the guy coming right down the gut of the defense with the slam jam bam on the
Okay, run the same action. Run the same. Get open, Jalen. Run the same action right now. Nope. Run the same action. Yep. Set it. Roll to the left.
See, Galloway's got to push down a little bit deeper to give them some more space.
Yep. Too high. Yeah, too high. Way too high.
That makes that help defense just so much easier. That guy on the baseline needs to just clear out and then Galloway sink.
Yeah. Trey got to know that. Trey's just kind of meandering. He was just like he's walking right now. Nothing against it. He's just walking. Like you can't be a little more alert, right? Go push yourself down to the corner. Right? On the weak side. Push yourself down so your guy can't help. Or give your teammates driving lanes. Yeah, a lot of standing, right, Lucas? A lot of standing, right? I think sometimes here's where players try to catch their wind, their breath, but you gotta be more alert, right? This game right now, you know, that's a crucial possession to me. So that's a great point, Lucas. Come on, here we go.
Whew.
Yeah, too high. Hey,
Yeah.
Trace got to know better. See, these are things I want Trace to get better at.
Yeah, that's too easy of an angle.
Yeah, it's too easy. You can't play on the high side like that. You can't, you got to be right in the middle of that guy. You can't go for those high side fakes.
Yeah, you get so caught up sometimes of like, I got to send a guy this shoulder.
Yeah.
Some guys that big, you just kind of almost want to always send middle just because there's more help.
Right.
Why does Purdue always have like one or two guards that are just automatically just super annoying to me? Like it's just
every year.
They always have guys that have such a punchable face. I mean, you can even throw Cardinal in there from way back.
No question. No question.
Was it Cunningham? Was Cunningham another one that looked like a
Carson was like that. Shout out to Carson right now.
Yes.
Coach at University of Incarnation Word, but yeah, he was one of those little pesky guards. You know, I call them the blue trail guys. They were the.
What was your impressions of playing at Mackey?
It was always a place for me where the ball bounce was funny.
Yeah,
because it's like the tin roof.
You remember the sound and when you were in the gym by yourself, it had like this like zero.
Yes, it was like
you were plucking a high tension wire.
Yes, you can hear that.
Yeah,
you can. So that right there, right? I mean that like in itself, and also feeling like you're on a stage. You know, you're kind of on a stage where you sit down and watch the game, kind of like Minnesota.
Playing there, it always and I didn't feel like this everywhere I went, but it just felt like when I was playing there, I was going back into like I was playing in like the you know how Andy Griffith's show had black and white Andy Griffiths and they had the color Andy Griffith. I felt like I was black and white when I was in Mackey Arena. It just felt like I was in gray tone. It's like my printer's printing in grayscale when I'm there.
Grayscale,
and it just seemed like at like Bloomington, like even on television, it just I don't know. It just like Assembly Hall just has like this warmth and this like color, this warmth. It's something. It's something about when I was there. It just felt like I liked playing there. It was a fun environment, but it always just came off as like a bland place. You know,
black and gold in an environment like that, and you get a lot of it.
Yeah,
it's going to
that's true. That's interesting.
Home,
that's true.
Red, warm. Red is a warm.
That's right.
Tone, right. I didn't know we were
you nailed it.
Right.
Yeah.
But red is more of a warmer, inviting, powerful tone. So you just spoke to it, right?
Yeah.
So you know, even even I don't know if you remember this, when you would play against University of Iowa, you would go into their locker room and they would have like a mauve
Mauve or pink, yeah.
off white pink to get you to relax. You know, you don't. I mean, again, fans, you understand like so many underrated strategies to have you just play like a lull. You're like, why am I such a lull? But you don't realize the environment. You just knock it out of the park.
I never did like playing at Illinois. Illinois just had this cavernous feeling to me. It was just like it just felt like, I don't know, Assembly Hall, those arenas, even on the road, that like they were on top of you. Like that feeling, it was just like they're right here. And like those arenas that were kind of more like Madison Square Garden and some of those that seemed like
really
they dark and like people were like way away, like back. I never felt as comfortable there as I did in like that. I felt like I like the arenas that felt like a blanket almost,
So you said it because again, that was a dark arena playing at their Assembly Hall in Champaign. What you would love, I see Leach on the TV. I spoke to George Leach earlier.
Oh yeah,
you see Leach? I spoke to him earlier. That's Leach. Yeah, George Leach. Hey, what you would love is this: playing against Penn State before they got their new arena. Felt like we played at the Hyper. Hey, it was like a Hyper because it was right there.
Oh me,
almost like Northwestern. You know, at Northwestern's kind of very close.
Yeah. The Hopper.
Yeah,
man,
seriously.
I went to so many intramural games there to watch the managers play. That was one of my favorite things, is seeing the managers play intramural at Hopper.
Yeah. Alan Hughes, man, have the faith, brother. It's okay, man. It's a 40-minute game, right? You know, Purdue's number one. The reason why they're number one. I'm looking at the comment. Alan Hughes said we're in trouble, man. Wait, look, hey, Jalen, you said it. Big shot.
Yeah.
Now, can we come back? You can't play score right now. We got to get consecutive stops. Got to get consecutive stops. Come on. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Good defense.
Good.
Oh, come on. That's a bell out.
And it's not the baseline official. That's always.
Yeah, it's like the baseline official's watching the play.
He's got the best view.
I watched the game yesterday, something similar. I was at a high school game, a couple young ladies, there was a senior night. Similar play, but it was on a ball that hits a player's knee, and the one referee on the baseline who could clearly call it, it was not her. It was actually the referee at half court. Like, that's not your call. That's your call. And then it ended up being overturned. But I'm like, okay, come on, you got to see that.
Hey, we had something come up last night at our high school game. Can you do a 10-second? Does the referee start a 10-second call if the ball is being rolled?
No, we can't. For me, I thought it was when the ball being touched on the tunnel.
So he was counting it out. We had that discussion. I was like, I don't think he can make a call on that.
No, when the ball is touched, that's when the 10 seconds.
He was getting to like to 7, and I was like, I want to see him call this, but we never did get to it.
Yeah, good. All right, we got to go back to it.
Oh
God. That's the head. See, that's a play. Fake the pass, go score it.
On balance. You have options.
Yes, one. Key, on balance. Straight up and down. Stay down. Stay down. Don't get you crap. Box out. Box out. Come on, guys. Good. Sit. Sit. Switch back. Switch back. Stay low. Under. Zach can't move. Good hands.
My word.
That should have been a foul. Good.
That was a big possession right there.
Again,
that was
big possession because, again, the difference between what we're doing this game, our health side defense is more aware.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's to your point, we're playing where? We're back in that warmth, baby. You're back home. There's a comfort level.
Yep.
Right now, too, Kirk, you gotta think again. Easier to see this from the point of view of watching the game. Right now, Purdue is doing the same set in action, trying to get us to go under. Zach is keep trying to changing his ankle screen angles to come back to the weak side to get Zach going back on the power side. You got this is what we got to smarten up. I think if we fight that, go over the top, don't let Zach get established on setting screens, and then play solid help side on ball defense as well, you're going to show up these possessions.
I think, and I hope they don't do it, but the Purdue guards would probably be better off. I think once you get late in the second half and a team gets used to playing you a certain way, is rejecting that ball screen and then getting a little bit deeper and then having your guy know that it's going to be an immediate rescreen. Correct. And then if they go under again, all of a sudden you have a 17-footer instead of a 19-9, and you also have a chance for that big guy to have to come up and give a little bit of help and be able to dump it underneath. But yeah, I think that I feel I'm really impressed. I feel like that our guards are just more athletic than I mean, if they just don't overcommit or overplay, their guards have a hard time getting much off of our guys.
Well, it's almost like a flip of we had a Ohio State game versus a game going to Maryland. This is almost a carbon copy. We're getting the Purdue guards to play like we played at Maryland. Like they don't have a rhythm. Yeah. They don't have. It's rhythm, right? They're not in rhythm. They're not in sync. And if we can continue to bother them for the next 3 minutes and 15 seconds, we're going to come out with, which I believe I used the favorite. It's funny. I mean, even though Purdue is number one, I think I used the favorite, right? It's so odd. Like, coming off of an 11-point loss, you are a favorite of the number one team in the country. Yeah. I don't get that, but you're at home. Big difference. Kurt, I want to tell you, man, this has been a hoot, man. It's been a joy catching up with you, man. I appreciate you for being on. And
hey, I got a kick when I saw your call come through on Messenger, and I was like, that's not going to be the Charlie Miller calling me, is it? And so I was sitting there with my granddad watching junior pro basketball. My kids had junior pro this morning. Yeah. And so we were just talking about the game, and I was thinking about, well, what time am I going to get back to watch it and everything, because we got done at about 3:00.
Awesome.
So it worked out good. I appreciate the invite.
No, I appreciate you being on, man. This is awesome, man. So I appreciate it.
Quick Dick Vitale story. We were getting ready to play against Kentucky at Freedom Hall, and I don't think you were there still, but we were right before the game. And it was real quiet. Coach Knight was getting ready to talk to us, and Dick Vitale walked in, and he just looked at us all, and he said, "When in doubt, shoot the J," and then he just walked out.
I wasn't there because we played. Yeah, we didn't play Kentucky after I think my sophomore year. You were redshirted my senior year, 97, 98. Is that about right?
Yeah.
So that might have been after. So I know freshman year we played Kentucky at Freedom Hall. Sophomore year we played Kentucky at the RCA Dome.
Yeah, that was when Jeff Shepard caught somebody at that game.
Yeah.
It might have been Jimenez. I can't remember, but I think Shepard might have caught Luke looking. Yeah, that RCA Dome was a different deal. I had that blew my mind. First time I went to that game.
Yeah, playing in such a big. I mean, that's almost like I never played the Dome.
And the red and the red and the crimson and the blue. Yeah. That's crazy.
Where did you stay as a freshman? What's dorm you stay in?
I actually was the first freshman class that didn't have to stay in the dorm.
Oh, wow.
And so it was me and Tom Geyer and Rob Turner at the Village Apartments.
Okay.
That's a fun three-man.
Yeah, 3 guys. That's awesome. Oh, Rob Turner was quiet, but I bet he was something when you got him by himself.
Dutch Mufazia.
Yeah. All right, don't get too low. That's the pull out.
Yep.
That's the pull out I want.
I like
That's
that.
the pull out I want. Okay. Pull it. Go back up.
Ah.
I guess you got to give Trace a blow. All right, Trace is back. Okay. Come on. That's a throw up.
Plays with great emotion, intensity, handles the ball well. Has an understanding.
Come on, Jack. Come on. Here we go.
Indiana packed right to the wall. Here we go. Here we go.
Set it. Roll. See, I want more of a definitive action, man.
Yeah,
what I tell you. You see what that guy just did?
Yeah.
I mean, the athleticism of that boy.
I don't know.
To cock it back here to dunk it.
He just must have huge hands. That's
wow.
I mean, that's ball control. Like
yes, a lot of ball control. That's a lot of stability, ball control. Correct.
Unbelievable.
I want to get to a question while they're shooting the free throw.
Yeah.
And it was about race. Somebody asked a question. Why did he start race? He said, well, I guess because did race start in the second half?
You know, I think he did, but I honestly I can't remember for sure.
I can't remember. Yeah. That's a great question. I was so in tune to the game. I'm sorry about that.
I would if he did, I would say my guess was just having that extra big body and a couple extra fouls to maybe protect if you had to switch off.
Exactly. Yeah. No, Doug, that's a great point. I mean, hey, look, race is coming back, man. It's a recovery, so he still got that spring in his step.
That's too high. He's got it.
Yeah.
That's. Man, Trace has got such strong legs to drive him out of there.
Yep. Close out. Close out. We got to get those one rebounds. Got to get those one rebounds. Sit down. Sit down. Good help.
Nice. Perfect. No.
Oh, we good.
Out of bounds.
Call timeout.
Baby, you got to be able to execute right now. Be efficient.
You got to call timeout. And again, I would love to see, for me, either you go back to, instead of running a set play, again, a small on big, right now go back to your horns action, your two players, the bigs. Look, sometimes they have bigs, sometimes they mix it up. Go back with your bigs at the elbow, come off the screen, get Trace to set it, let him go back to the left. Let's get some weak action. And Jalen coming off that a trade. Let's see what happens.
Are both teams? Are we? We're not in the bonus yet, are we?
Let me see.
I think it just showed that we might be one off, but
okay.
No, it looks like we might both be. I thought they had a check mark next to one. Yeah, I would love to see. I'd love to see something that too. If you might be able to get a cheap, trip to the line if you could have a guard. I think Edie would just plow through a little back screen, like just sit right there, and then if Trace goes hard, like if he goes slow, it's not. But if he goes hard off of that, and then Edie tries to go with him or something, just play and just have that guard ready just to
take one.
Just take one.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you're right on. I would love to see that, like a small on big screen. To see how Zach will react to that, to get him to bite.
What do you think the key is for both of these teams in these next 41 seconds? Well, I think right now the key is you want to level some points in this possession, whether it be the free throw line or it be a score by the end. And you want a little separation. If they come up empty here.
Hey, where are you time-wise?
I'm at 41.4.
All right, I don't want to spoil it, but you see a smile on my face. I guess I gotta grow some TV etiquette. I don't want to spoil it, but here we go. Here we go. All right. Oh. Yep. Yep. Drop coverage. Solution. Kept it away. Kept it away. Ball by the defender. Kept the ball away. That's how you finish against the big. Also, in that finish, let's talk about this for a second, Kirk. The rim acts as a protector because Zach is not going to jump and get his hand stuck on that rim. Look at how Jalen, he used the rim too. He got, he got Zach under the basket. That's a big time move right there. Hesitation, got into his body. Eyes make layups too, brother. Eyes make layups, man.
Man.
Eyes on the rim. Good finish.
That was a great finish. Great protection.
Great finish.
Really good body control right there.
Yes, yeah. In the air, yeah. You gotta score. We gotta get a stop right now. Big stop. Big stop on shooting free throws.
He looked like Tom Coverdale going to the ground there. Tom was a master at making shots, and then all of a sudden he's laying flat on the ground.
Laying flat on the ground.
It worked though. A lot of and ones.
Yeah, Tom right now is in Florida. I reached out to him, and I think he's celebrating his father-in-law's birthday. So shout out to his father-in-law. Happy birthday to him. He's going to be on the show at some point soon too.
He's one of my favorites. He's a good one.
Awesome. Well, he's one of my favorites because he wore number 3. I got a little bias towards Tom C. See, he turned the corner with what he knew what to do turning the corner. That's the difference. He turned the corner, little hesitation. It was also a little help too. 25 got caught up where Zach couldn't really be there to be a rim protector.
Well, they had better spacing too. I think it was Galloway again. Galloway got further away that time.
There you go.
There for a few plays in the second half, he was staying more in that off-key spot instead of the wing spot, and that help guy can just dig in so easy from there.
Yep. I call those super gaps. You want to create super gaps in those opportunities. Man, there's no way I'm not yelling 3 seconds on that. I don't. I mean, even ref tell me shut up, Charlie. I'm yelling 3 seconds the whole time.
He camps, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's just me, but I'm like, man, I see that often. It's almost 5 seconds now in the game where it's like you get in and no one's calling it. There's too much action to watch. I got you, but damn, you can't take away the rules of the game.
Well, refs act like when they get the ball that it's resetting the clock.
Yeah.
So if you're in there for 2 seconds and you get the ball, you can't then start eyeing the guy down and start crab dribbling.
Yes.
Now you're in there for like 5 seconds.
Well, then also now if you call me for a blocking foul and I'm trying to hold my ground, I think about the time that Pearl was in there banging the whole time as I'm trying to get around him. I can't play defense. Big shots. All right. Hey, again, I'm not going to, I mean, you know. 4.1. Should have beat them by 3 here to end a 9-game in a row.
All right, what's your philosophy on the foul situation? On sending somebody to the line instead of giving them the 3-pointer if they're on the dribble away from the basket, or letting them have a chance of tying it up with the 3. I've gotten in several debates over the years over this.
Okay, so what is our foul count? Because I don't know our foul count. I don't. Are they shooting 1-on-1 right now?
Yeah, they have. We have 6 fouls. They have 7.
Okay. So we score. Now, for me, we score. That's a great strategy. We score. But also, I don't want to give. I don't like giving too much game to chance.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right now, you got momentum. 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
Inbound the ball.
Now I was doing like the hypothetical of like if they have the ball and it's 4 seconds to go, are you telling your guys to foul to send them to the line if you're up 3 instead of giving them a chance to shoot the 3 at the buzzer?
Take into consideration, you better box out.
Yeah,
you better box out.
The way I've always looked at, and I know you don't want to do it too early,
right?
But like if you're in that underneath that 4 or 5 second range and they're bringing the ball up the floor. Because the way I've always thought about it is that I've seen a lot more games be tied at the buzzer than go through of like they've got to make both foul shots,
right?
Or I mean they've got to make the one foul shot, they've got to miss the second one on purpose,
and
they then got to get the rebound, they got to make the pass, and then they got to make another shot or put it up immediately. So there's like, to me, there's like 4 or 5 things that have to happen versus just if you're down 3, guy dribbles up, makes a pass shot, or dribbles up and shoots. So.
Right.
I always liked it under 5 seconds, but it's an interesting debate.
Yeah, no, but that you said it's a hypothetical, but for me, given this situation,
this is my favorite situation is being up 3 and having the ball. But I was flipping.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
we're just talking shop, man. I'm with you. Yeah, I love that. We're talking shop. I love that. All right, brother. You're going to love this. You're going to love it, brother. You're going to love it, brother.
Oh, my word.
Hey, man. What a game. What a game. What a game. What a game.
That's a huge win.
What a game.
Golly.
What a game. And I was going to ask you, what were the odds that's going to happen? The storming.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. This is the first time we beat a number 1 since Kentucky, right? Since a shot at home. This is a great game, a great identity. Hey, Alan, it's not, listen, Alan, no apologies needed, brother. It's the game. It's the ebb and flows of the game says, my apologies for lack of confidence. No, man, that's the game. That happens in the game situation, right? I mean, it's the ebbs and flow. We don't have it. I had my doubts in this game, but the saving grace for me, Kirk, we had a 15-point lead. We established an identity, and it was something that we really needed. It was really galvanizing as one. That was Coach Woodson's word. All his first year, galvanized. They galvanized and they played for each other, and I think that's the biggest difference versus Maryland last game.
Yeah.
Great win.
Hey, it's
a huge win.
It's also, it's also a great in-state recruiting win. I mean, when you show that when you show, hey, even when we're not, at that top tier with Purdue is ranking wise, hey, look at how special this place still can be.
We can play. Look, you're going to get coached up to play against that.
Yeah,
and that's coaching. That's responsive. That's what I call GPS, game plan for success. That's exactly what they did. They game plan. Hey, look like a recruit right there. We got him.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's a recruit right there.
Yeah, right there.
What a game. You just nailed it. What a game to be at.
Yeah, he's pointing. He's like, do I sign my papers around the corner here
exactly.
or do I go?
Exactly. Hey, Howie, wow, you're right. Wow. Like again, to me, taking this game into consideration moving forward, this is the identity. If we can play with this type of awareness, our off-ball awareness was off the charts. If we played better weak side defense, we had better offensive rebounds. We had more purposeful drives going to the basket. All of the things that I only could imagine were talked about, watched, and filmed, and we got better at over a couple of days.
Boy, you can't wait to get to practice the next. I mean, it just you have such an energy when you're ready after wins like that. You're just like, what's next? Like,
Come on, man.
It really does. It really does put some wind in your sails.
As you know,
I hope they build on it.
As you know, walking back or running back into the locker, right? Running back into the locker room, all the excitement, even to now to your point where I remember the Jared Jeffries and the Sean Mays will be in the locker room right now. Right?
Yeah.
They would as we're about to watch Sean May right now be assistant coach for UNC. I remember him being in the locker room with Jared Jeffries after a win like that. You know, just watching it all like, man, wow. Like I have that opportunity to do the same thing those guys just did, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, overall, what would you sum this game up after watching this game? How would you sum this game up?
I'm not in love with this court storming because they're Indiana, man. I know they beat number one.
No messenger.
Oh, you
she's
good,
upstairs and she's calling me. So I heard that you asked about summing it up. But
I would say, how would you sum this game up?
No doubt. They've got a lot of banners in their own. They have more banners than Purdue. Come on, man. It's been a while, Reese. It's been a while. No way.
I'm sorry, Kirk. You're there. I hear you, brother.
Goes down. Number 2.
Sorry, can you hear me?
I hear you, Kirk. I know you're. It's all good. I'm not asking you.
Up.
All good, brother.
My phone is blowing up with messages after this game, so it keeps messing up with my feed.
All
Sorry
good, brother.
about that.
You good, brother?
But hey, can you got me now?
I hear you.
Yeah, both teams were offensive challenge. Both teams' defenses were ahead of the Let's face it, this was an ugly game that someone had to win. Absolutely. And Tennessee was able to get on that offensive drive, get 10 offensive rebound. And when you're in a tight game like that, it's the little thing. And this right here.
That's right, Jim. Let's go Hoosiers, man. That was a huge win. As right now, I think Kirk's getting a lot of text messages from people that have been watching the game. Respectfully speaking, this was a huge game. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity to actually be on this game, watching this game with you all, but in real time responding. It's so cool, right? Because, again, to me, the keys to this victory was what we did the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game was we established hard-nosed play, right? We established hard-nosed play from the tip-off, and we had success at seeing the ball go in the hole, especially our younger players. Jalen Hood-Safino, right? Tamar Brayton. When you have success like that, all that does, it just hypens you up as a player because sometimes you do need to see that ball go in the hole to really contribute at a high level to off-ball play, offense rebounds, all the small things. And I think all the small things are what we saw today, and it was amazing as a victory. So I'm so excited for the players and the coaching staff and the fans. I'm a fan now too, so thank you for this opportunity to be in your living rooms as you're watching the game, listening to me. This is awesome, man. This is so cool to do. This is awesome. So Alan Hughes, thank you, man. This is awesome, dude. Thank you for what you do and the time you take it for you, man. Look, I thank you for this opportunity, man. I'm now as a coach myself for Attack Basketball Academy, a program I started 14 years ago, and what I believe is the player development. And a lot of the things I teach, player development-wise, I learned from people like Coach Knight, Coach Dawkins, Coach Ron Feller, Coach Mike Davis, and to see Coach Mike Woodson teach these young men how to play, how to respond, how to play battle on the road, but how to respond and get ready for that next game and have the next game mentality. This is a huge win. So, hey, awesome. Brad Nix, way to get us a W. Hey, man, hey, it was Brad. It was you and me. It was us together, man, because we needed it. We stayed positive, right? And that's what we need. All these players stay positive. They keep digging in, right? And this is awesome. Balin, yeah, I'm at the game. What a win. Go Hoosiers. Of course, man. I mean, I can only imagine being in Assembly Hall right now, seeing just the nail-biting last 5 minutes of the game, but we played tremendous. We played as a group. I'm going back to Coach Mike Woodson's presser when he first got there. He said he needs to galvanize the group, and this is what galvanizes, the epitome of galvanizing. We all played for one today, right? Tears of joy, brother. That's right, man. Hey, it is tears of joy, and you're right, because to see how we played against Maryland, lose by 11, looked like we had no identity, no momentum come off a great home victory against Iowa State. You don't know what you're going to get, but lo and behold, they played consistent for 40 minutes. And that's what it takes. They played consistent for 40 minutes on offense and defense. And again, for me, the key was we won the weak side rebounding defensively effort, and we won the weak side rebounding offensively effort. We won those efforts, right? And when you win those efforts, what ends up happening? You end up ultimately winning the game, right? What's going on, Five Lex? How you doing, buddy? Listen, man, this is a great game. I'm here for any post-game comments. If you have any questions for me, I'm looking at the comments. I want to definitely continue to talk through the comments. Balin said, hey, defense wins games. Hey, Balin, I want to add to that. I don't want to take it away. Defense wins games, but offense wins championships. Because you got to score the basketball to win. Here's what happened today, Balin. We played great offense, a great defense that extended our offensive opportunities. We had more options, and options always create more opportunities, and we had more offensive opportunities to Purdue. And when you do that, more than likely you're going to win. Yeah, Howie, you're right. You're right on, man. Purdue, they won't. Hey, Doug, big time win. Huge win for us. We needed this. Balin said he brought his nephew to the game. He just got out of hospital May this year. Now, it made my year, dude. That's how I felt, right? Family. Balin, keep this in mind. Family, Family. Forget about me, I love you. That's what this is about, man. That's how those players played tonight. They played for love and passion of the game. Play for Hoosiers tradition, right? Forget about me, I love you, man. That's awesome. So shout out to you for taking your nephew to the game straight out of the hospital, man. Kudos to that. Yeah, great coaching job by Woody. Hey, look, the whole coaching staff, right? Preparing those players. You got to even go to the basketball managers for having the film ready for those guys to watch, right? The practice, just all the things that go into it. The training staff, get those guys ready to go, right? Exactly. Love each other, right? Right. My extension of that. Yeah, LEO is family for me. Forget about me. I love you, man. Right on for that. Right on. So, Five less. Did you go to the game, or you just watching the game at home? I'm turning my TV off right now. I think post game comments, ESPN off. So, yeah, Robert, great team effort. This was awesome. Again, I think great total team effort. I think we had more positive contributions. Even Caleb Banks. I mean, he had some key. He missed a wide open layup. He had a sign of frustration coming down the next possession by doing defensively by going with a goaltending, but yet he stayed poised and then came back with a huge dunk. And after his dunk, he had a great offensive rebound that extended the play. The shot that he made, Caleb Banks, at the end of the half. I mean, those are all big, especially as a freshman. I mean, those are all big moments for players like Caleb Banks that, again, just makes you eager and anxious to continue to want to improve and get better. Awesome. You watched the game at home. Now, awesome, man. Calvin Smith says, Charlie, rate how IU guarded the perimeter. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give it an A+. Let me tell you why I'm gonna give it an A+. I'm gonna have to give up to demonstrate because I'm a little excited, Kelvin. Here was what I love about perimeter defense. When you get I'm gonna stand up for this. When you get offensive players that can't square up to the basket, you make them catch it and have to turn to the sideline, and now you got a defender right here on their side, and now that defender playing nice defense in a position where it's a close closeout, you can't square up. A+. We didn't give Purdue an opportunity to square those guys. We didn't give them an opportunity to square up. So therefore, what ends up happening? When you don't get a player a chance like Purdue players to square up, they end up playing more sideline to sideline, and their actions are more fake. We call those faux actions. It's like the screens are just more rubs. They're more rounded, right? So therefore, I got Greg Graham calling me right now. I wish he could jump on the show with me. But when you play defense like that, let me turn it off for a second. When you play tough defense like that, when you got opponents playing with their chest going to the sideline, you extend their offensive opportunities. Now you're stressing them. And think about this: the shots that they took were tough shots. The whole teaching point to this is you want them to understand defensively, make your opponents shoot tough twos and tough threes, and that's exactly what they did. They shot tough twos, tough threes, and they did not make a lot of them. Okay, so great question. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. TDJ answered the bell and wanted this fake for the Big Ten Player of the Year. Now, I want to make sure I hear you correctly, Jim. No, he actually stated, hey, today was a statement game for him. It was a statement game, man. Cool. Let me see if I can do this. I stay on. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to call Greg Graham back real quick. I know he was watching the game. I want to see if I can get him on the call with us. Hey, Greg, how you doing, buddy? Hey, man, you just finished watching the game? Awesome. Hey, are you at home or are you out right now? Oh, you are? Okay, gotcha, man. Because I'm doing a simulcast. We're going to talk about this, but I'm watching the game as I'm on a radio show talking about the game. But let me finish up with this. Let me give you a shot back if you don't mind. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that was Greg Graham. He's now on the road. He's driving from where he was watching the game. I would love to have him on the show. He's going to be on the show probably later on as games that we continue to do. But right now, I don't want him to drive and be a distraction because right now that win for me is that much more of a positive distraction. So yes, Greg Graham was a killer, man. I mean, to me, a player I looked up to prior to me coming into IU. Him, Calvert Chaney, Pat Graham, Tyler, all those guys were great guys, all great players. Alan Henderson, Brian Evans, all those guys I looked up to, and I, was fortunate enough to play with Brian Evans and Alan Henderson, right? Hit the like button, guys. I love that. Straight up. Hit it. Hit it. Love it, man. Love it. No, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is like, I mean, what a win. I mean, for me, the bounce back, right? I mean, that's a sign. Again, you got to look at this as a total team effort. That's a sign of a good strategy. I call it GPS, game plan for success. We bounce back. The bounce back, baby, is what it's about. We bounce back from a loss on the road where we look like we just looked like we were out of sync, a lot of indecision. Think about this. A lot of plays we made against Maryland. You get below the free throw line on a pick and roll situation, guards, you got to have a solution. Either you pull it out to drag a helping defender to come out with you to probably create a mismatch, or you stop and shoot it. You're going to shoot a floater, stop, shoot a 2-foot floater, or pull-up jumper. Give your teammates a chance for offensive rebounds. We did a lot of that in Maryland, just like indecisive shots. Like I said, I'm going to get my shot off. You saw more purposeful driven shot opportunities. You saw more purposeful driven drives. We played with more poise today, right? And to me, again, the game plan for success matched. And that's what I love about it. Let's see here. It says, does Charlie hate Nickelback too? Nickelback being the rock group. I want to make sure I'm following you, Jim. Let's see here. Yes, and okay, now with Rutgers on Tuesday, you don't want to have a fall off because again, that's another. Those Rutgers games have been fiery, right? Coming off a win like this is great momentum. I want to stay where we are, right? Let's celebrate this as a huge win. The last time we beat a number one team was 2013. Huge win for us, right? Again, I can't speak enough on the adjustments we made all game. And you got to think in the second half, my feelings never faltered. I stayed consistent. I felt the way we played the first 5-10 minutes of the game, that set the tone for me. I felt we were going to win this game. And we had no letdown when Purdue started digging in, coming back late in the second half. I felt good. I thought we had enough of a cushion to have margin for error. We built in some margin for error. I don't want to always rely on that, but we had enough margin for error because of our play the first 10 to 15 minutes of the first half of the game that it wasn't really slip ups. You got to think a team like Purdue, they're a solid veteran group. They're going to make solid plays. They did down the stretch, but we made more plays. We just made more plays to win the game. Yeah, Balin says, I can't wait for the whole team to get back healthy. They answered the next man up mentality straight up. And I mean, and this is the epitome of that. This is all the little team character words we say that, sometimes are just more, I call it bro science. It's just more talk and sounds great to the mentality. But yet, this is when it really matters because it was a next man up. Caleb Banks made some key plays. He contributed, right? He may not feel like he did enough, scored 2 points of the game, but he made the key plays. I think he scored 3. He made key plays, right? And he contributed at a high level. Tamar Bates made some crucial shots. Miller Kopp made some crucial shots. And they all played tremendous off-ball defense. This is to me the key. How do we play weak side, off-ball defense? If we can raise our awareness on off-ball defense, you have a team that's very athletic. And guess what? You're missing Geronimo. Right, you're missing Xavier Johnson, right? Race is kind of hobbled. You get back healthy. I wonder what also we look like as we get back strong, 100%. Justin Beard, is that IU did no wrong? I want to make sure I'm correct. IU did no wrong. I felt they didn't. I mean, I think they played a tremendous game. Even the turnovers we had, we won the turnover battle. I think the turnovers were less than 10. I got to get that stat. I'm gonna look this up as I talk to you all. But that was a huge thing too. We kept our turnovers down. Looking at the stats. Yeah, check this out. Purdue had 16 turnovers. We had 8. I think going into the second half, we were under 3 turnovers. That's huge. That's the big difference. In Maryland's game, we had 11 turnovers in the first half. We had 11 turnovers in the first half, and Maryland had 0. That's why they won 66-55. This game here, Purdue 16 turnovers, IU 8. That's a huge difference. Jim Harbaugh says, Charlie, what did you tell Michael Lewis when you grabbed him when he yelled back at Coach Knight? Here's exactly what I told Mike Lewis. I said, now is not the time to talk back. You are right. Because the situation was Mike Lewis did exactly what Coach Knight wanted in a basketball game, right? And we were at home. And then Coach Knight yelled at Mike Lewis, and Mike Lewis did the same thing. And I just kind of reacted, and I just grabbed Mike by the neck to say, hey, man, you're right. This isn't the time to say that. Go back on the court. That's all it was. It's more of a check. It was a checkup from the neck up, pun intended, to get Mike to get back out in the game and focus on next play mentality. Baylor says, any basketball play, no matter if it's offense or defense, can make a moment shift quickly, no matter how you can contribute to the game. And it was some huge. Let me tell you, to me, another difference, Baylor, to your point. All plays matter. You just said that. What happened for me was we established quick strike opportunities early. We didn't have fast break. I want to look at the fast break point scoring too. Against Maryland, we barely scored the basketball on fast breaks. We had a lot of rim runs with Trace early, and they were dunks, right? And dunks ignite the crowd, right? Now the fans are the sixth man, right? When you have stuff like that, that's a huge difference. We had a lot of rim runs, a lot of easy point blank shots, a lot of paint touches and paint finishes. Okay, we created a lot of fouls off of those rim, going to the rim, and I think that was a huge difference. We established a game plan. We're attacking you, Purdue, and they did that. This now needs to be our blueprint moving forward for all the games that we play on. We just can't get up for games like this, playing against the number one team, one to win at your home, you got to now get up for Rutgers. You got to now get up for those teams that are coming up as well. Yeah, great point, Calvin. I used to play for second. Yeah, and also Rutgers has our number, man. I mean, Rutgers is look. You just beat the number one team in the country. Okay, celebrate, get back focused, because you know Rutgers now is circling that on their depth chart. IU's coming in with a swagger, right? They coming in with a swagger. We got to knock them off their horse. Great point. Sam said, "Who surprised me tonight?" I'm gonna say this. I don't think we can talk enough about this. Two players played solid games. Jalen Josefino played with more poise. He played with more control. Trey Galloway played with more poise and more control. Those two guys, to me, were the surprise factors, because, again, even though they were indecisive a couple of times, getting below the free throw line on pick and roll situations with no solutions, I think their play may not be highlighted amongst the scoreboard as far as them scoring the basketball on command, but they made some key plays. They made key plays offensively that extended our offensive play, and they made tremendous reads to get our best scorers the basketball in great position. Yeah, and see again, we just beat Carolina when we played Rutgers the first time. That's what I'm saying. So it's like that. You can close this loop, right? You just beat Carolina, Rutgers coming in now. You're giving them more locker room material. So again, you're just coming off of beating Purdue. Here is your redemption. Here's our IU Red redemption right here. Our redemption to now show Rutgers we are ready to play. Right? This is now, I call it this. At the second half of the season, freshmen and sophomores, right? Trace Jackson Davis, he's finishing up, but he's a pro player. You're now into your next season. So now you got to step up and play with that type of position. Yeah, Malik made some key baskets. Yeah, I mean, again, he can. I mean, I didn't see much of again. My focus was on him a lot because of what he didn't do in Maryland game. He didn't play as much as I wanted to watch, but he made some big baskets. I think more along the lines of, again, to me, my surprise factor was how the poise of our guard play. Our guard play was tremendous tonight. Baylor says, Galloway reminds me of a player on the IU team you played on, Charlie. Who would you compare him to? I think I love his game. Here's why I love Trey Galloway's game, because he mixes it up like he's almost like a guard, like Race Thompson is, I think, our team's glue player. I see Trey Galloway being the glue player on the court, like because he can, whenever you need something, like he sacrifices his body. He's always out there going as hard as he can. So who would you compare him to? I love that, Baylor. Who would you compare him to during my era when I played from 94 to 98? Like, Howie says, Jalen Josefino, some rush 4 shots early, second half. Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's when it's like we had a pick and roll. We had a late pick and roll, or I would say mid-clock pick and roll action going, where Jalen will come off of the pick and roll, Trace will roll to the left, his strong side, Jalen's roll to the right, but then Jalen got too deep. And when I say too deep, teaching-wise, he got below the free throw line with no solutions. When you get that deep and you get a Zach Edey switching on you, pull Zach Edey out. Right, back up that dribble, pull him out. Now you might swing the basketball to the left side where Trace may have a mismatch. That's just identification you start to gain more as awareness the older you get. I'm hoping that we see things like that, because that plays a crucial part of your game as you're talking about going into the Big Ten tournament and then the postseason. And Trey, we trust. I love that. Sam asks, he says, why does it seem like we don't have more set running through? I think we do. It's just the way we get into the sets. Um, I mean, I'm not actually, I'm not against your question. I think we do. I just think we get into the sets and actions off of, like, again, full screens, right? FAUX. Like, it's just like coming off a screen that really didn't mean much, but just to slow down the defense versus setting solid, hard screens to make them feel it and to get them to switch. Because a couple of times we had to switch based upon what Purdue was doing. It just didn't hurt us today. It really didn't hurt us in the game. But I would love to see exactly more set screens to get more inside out, more play, more point forward. Give the ball to Trace. Let him kind of dictate how we play around him for round one. Curly head kid from California. All right, he says, what team was on Charlie Miller's starter jacket back in the 90s? Help me with that one, Jim. That's a great question. Yeah. Yeah. So again, I mean, it's but Howie, to your point, this is kind of now how this is the evolution of the game, right? It's not wrong. It's like now here's where we are. There's a lot of sets and actions. There's a lot of screening, a lot of ball movement that really leads to more of a individual isolation type scoring. Uh, I don't know if it's like, one screen leads to a cut on and swinging the ball to the weak side to get back to the other side. It's just more faux action, and we do a lot of that. And tonight it kind of worked. We made enough individual plays. The shots again that Jalen Hood, missed, the shots that Trey Galloway missed, the shots that Miller Kopp missed, we made tonight, and that ignited our energy and effort and enthusiasm throughout the game. Who wins 1v1 Greg Graham versus AJ Guyton? AJ was a potent offensive player. Greg, in his own right, was also potent. I may have to give that edge to AJ. AJ was a prolific scorer. He was a prolific scorer. AJ, even though we did not play in this style that was more about isolation of individual plays, AJ would make a lot of individual plays. There were a lot of games, real talk. Coach Knight will call timeout and say, hey, put the ball in your hand, get out of AJ's way, and play off of AJ. Real talk. Yeah, he killed everybody. I mean, but AJ was a system player, right? A system is designed to create predictable results. When your system breaks down in a motion offense style of play we played back in the 90s, AJ is a player who can make a play, right? He can make a play out of no play. So great point. Howie, correct, right? But the game changes, right? There's more of an evolution of the game. I think right now, Howie, the evolution of the dribble drive, motion offense, again, the action of the, um, you know, more so dribble handoff. You call them zoom cuts, just more of a, run off dribble handoff, pick and roll game situation. Here's the game. I think the more adaptness we all get with the flow of the game, the more we can see that old game still exists. You just want to see more of it. Damon Bailey versus AJ. I'm giving that edge to AJ. Damon Bailey was a great player in his own right. He understood how to use his body to create fouls, how to play off the ball. AJ did both well, right? AJ got all day for me, man. AJ was one of the best 1v1 players in his time. So AJ gets that edge for me. Yeah, but AJ also can post up too. Don't get it twisted. Kirk Haston made a point about Jared Jeffries being a strong player. That's when you have AJ had huge calves. AJ had huge legs. Don't get it twisted. AJ also can face up and score. AJ had a touch. Damon can score the ball too. AJ had a touch. He had a real soft touch. A touch that came from God to me. Jackie Turner said, driving home from the hall, there was only a fraction of Purdue fans there compared to last year. What a game. Jackie, right? If I can call you JT if you don't mind, JT right on. Hey, look, and that means a lot. That's probably because IU fans bought out the arena. Looks like we got Jim Quill joining us, so that's awesome. Allen Henderson versus TJD. I'm going to give that edge to Allen. Allen was not as athletic as Trace, but Allen was more of a, you call it cagey type player. Allen was a seasoned player. Allen was not as athletic as Trace, but I'm going to give that edge to also Allen because Allen can knock down the 15-foot jump shot like saying his name. He can knock that shot down. He can extend Trace. He can put Trace on the island and put that ball on the floor. A little more than people probably expected. Yeah, Allen had a J. And that's why Allen played more than 11 years in the NBA. Allen can shoot the basketball. Allen was your textbook power forward in the 90s. He can shoot the J off the trail. You put the ball on the floor, into the basket, and you can post you up and dunk on. Jim, I held down the fort, man. What a game. What a game, Jim.
I don't think you can hear me, can you? Can you hear me?
I hear you now, sir.
Oh, okay, perfect. Unbelievable. Exactly like I thought it was going to come down. No, I'm kidding. Well, I did. I thought it was going to be a tight game, and I did think it was going to be the ancillary help. And Indiana got that, but they got that in more than just scoring today.
Yeah,
they came out with their defense. I asked Mike Woodson in the post game, and same with Trace Jackson Davis. They were at a different level today than they have played all year long. They were. It looked like there were 7 guys out there at times because there were so many arms flying, reaching out, trying to slap the ball. I mean, they have not been that active. They were also hustling hitting their spots. They were racing to their spots. There was one time I remember that Trey Galloway fell down trying to get to a spot, but still forced a turnover. Exactly. And those 10 first half turnovers forced on Purdue turned into 10 first half points, a big part of that margin that never went away.
That's what gave me the confidence that we're going to win the game. That's what gave me the confidence. And then also to your point of defense, the effort. When you get a team, Jim, give us some insight. When you get a team that you're playing top defense, they can't square up. Purdue never squared up. That's the big difference. They couldn't square up. We kept them playing with their chest to the sideline. We extended them today. They had no rhythm with their guards. Every shot that was taken was very tough. And the turnovers led to easy scoring opportunities, Jim. We scored in the fast break today. We scored on fast breaks. That's big. And also, I talked to Kurt about this. It is what it is, man. When you score the ball as a player, you said it earlier, Jim. You gave me all the attributes. Everyone scored. That's a huge difference, dude. When you're scoring the ball, your contributions are off the charts.
And they were getting scoring from everybody and in different ways. Yes. There was 3. I'll have to go back and look when I get it pulled up. But when I did look earlier, there was 3 different guys that had hit a triple. Yes. That's something Indiana usually doesn't get. They've got 1 or maybe 2 guys hitting. They had 3 different guys shooting that ball tonight. Yeah, and that makes Indiana a dangerous team.
Yeah, and one stretch I think it was Miller Kopp hit 1, Tamar hit 1, and then Trey hit 1. Yeah, that's huge. And I think also even the contribution from Caleb Banks, right? I mean, he missed his layup. He came down the court and made a freshman
busted
play.
His butt.
He was upset, but yet he came back down, crucial offensive rebound, and at the end of the first half, hard-nosed two-point play made, almost falling. So, man, awesome.
Yeah, Indiana, again, but their defense was phenomenal. Yeah. You're not going to stop Zach Edey. He is, but they did a hell of a job in the first half. They made life really difficult for him in the first half. Yep. He had 5 of their turnovers.
Yes.
And that was huge for Indiana because him turning the ball over means he's not scoring. and that's gigantic.
And also,
But they
too,
also did a great job, Charlie, because not Zach Edey had 33, but there was only one other player for Purdue that scored in double figures. That was Fletcher Lawyer, but he was only 4 of 12, 1 of 6 from behind the arc. So barely got that second guy into double figures. That would have been amazing to see one guy in double figures, and kind of shows how Purdue can be still one-dimensional still.
Yes.
And I think that's gonna cause them problems later in the deep runs of the tournament.
Yeah, I agree. When you got a guy like Zach Edey, also you got to think about this too, foul-wise. So turnover. Zach Edey is turning the ball over in the paint. Therefore, it leads to what? Them trying to play catch-up, getting back. That was our scoring opportunities that we had early. Those foul turnovers were crucial. Yeah, we had
to get back to the Indiana side. But
yeah.
Yep, 20 points off turnovers today for Indiana. 20.
Yes.
That is gigantic.
Huge.
I mean, that's a large number. Off of 16, and that's off of 16 turnovers. They just destroyed Purdue on that. Indiana only with 8 turnovers in the game themselves. Huge day. When all the talk was about a lot of it, Purdue's guards, because they have been playing extraordinarily well. But again, they're 2 freshmen, man. And while Indiana, one of theirs is a freshman, he was a 5-star freshman for a reason. And Trey Galloway is pretty much a veteran now.
Right.
And it made a huge difference. They stayed within their framework. And I'll tell you someone else I got to give credit to today is Miller Kopp. He was out here busting his ass as well.
He played solid.
There was a point on the offense where he was actually opening up some space, I thought, in the paint for Trace with his ball movement. And once Trace got that taste of that open space, it was like a shark tasting water, man.
Yeah.
He was hunting the rim after that.
Yes. He played. He was very aggressive in the right way to me. I still want to see more opportunities for him on the right side of the court, Jim. It's
not going to happen, man. He's a one-handed dude, man.
Yeah, but because it's like when he's on the right, because I brought up a point to Kirk. When Trace is on the right side, it's more waiting for his opportunities. When he's on the left side, there's no waiting. He's a piranha. He goes. And that's something that I want to see him get better at. But going back to overall play of the team, I told Kirk this at the end of the game and went back to Coach Mike Woods' presser. His word that started with a G. They galvanized. They played as one. They played as one today.
They looked as good offensively and defensively, without question, that I've seen them all season. But they had to be. That's what it takes if you're going to beat a number one team. Because they did all of that. They played that well and did all of those things and still barely won the game. So that you got to give Purdue a lot of credit. That's how hard they are to beat.
Yeah. You got to think, though, Jim, too. I mean, we had a 15-point lead going into the second half. You got to think that Purdue is going to start chipping away at that lead. And now here is where you don't lose the game. You don't start losing the game. We made crucial plays. A couple plays we didn't make in Maryland, we were indecisive. Jalen Hudson will come off a ball screen. He wouldn't know what to do. He'll throw up a low runner floater. The difference today, he came off a ball screen. He stopped, jump stopped, went straight up with 2 feet and shot jumpers. Trey Galloway did the same thing too.
Charlie, up next for Indiana is Rutgers, a team that kind of started their season off with, we're not on radio, so I'll say it. They kicked them right in the balls.
Right.
And it was just like, that's what it felt like. You just double you over, and that's how their season started. Well, now they've got a chance to kind of come full circle. They've got to not hang on this from an emotional standpoint, but stand on it as a proud moment. Hey, this is what they can do. So because when they played Rutgers last time, Rutgers punked them. Indiana took the game to Purdue today, just like Rutgers did to Indiana in that first game on the road, and Indiana has to reverse that.
So let's say full circle. Indiana just beat a number one team called UNC. Then they laid an egg against Rutgers. You got a chance to redeem your season. Because now here it is, full circle. You just beat a number 1 team in UNC, and you laid an egg against Rutgers. And Rutgers had you. Again, like you said, you got to keep them to nothing. It is what it is. Now here it is for us to come off of a win consciously, off of a win after a bad loss. Now, can you respond against Rutgers?
Charlie, I don't want to keep you all day. Let's make sure the folks that have kids that are learning, that are in school, that are playing basketball, where can they go to learn more about the Attack Basketball plan that you are running?
Hey, so Attack Basketball Academy is in Dallas, Texas. I've been doing this since 2009. And that's a part of the reason I'm on the show. I'm giving like little insights. And I appreciate the comments because people are starting to take heed to those little insights. But where they can go to www.attackbball.com. That's ATTACKBBALL.com to learn more about Attack Basketball and what your boy Charlie Miller has been doing with basketball to grow the game, to develop and grow, excel this basketball game.
Yeah, and we'll get more of that information up. I'll make sure it's all up on thehoosier.com so you guys can always find it. Again, like you said, there's plenty of people out there that have kids because there's stuff that you can do online. There's a lot of stuff that you do with technology and all that. So look forward. How was Kirk? How was it hanging out with Kirk Haston?
Oh man, awesome, dude. No, it was awesome because again, it was almost like Kirk and I was watching the game side by side, and you're catching up because we're asking questions about, Kirk brought a great point. Why don't they have 6 fouls now in the college game, right? With the expansion of the 3-point line, the court's getting smaller. I love that, right? It was great fan fodder, too. Yeah, people chiming in on that, right? We're talking shot. How was it like playing for Mackey, right? That tin roof and then that hollow court and playing like you on the platform, right? And then we talked about the color scheme. At Mackey, it's a dull black and gold, right? It's a dark setting. You're playing in Bloomington, red and white, the warmth, power behind that. So it's great, man. Just really just details. There's a lot of detail we talked about as well.
Dude, Bloomington is going to be rocking tonight because this was a 4 o'clock game. This is a 4 o'clock game. So the fans got out of here at 6. They're going to be juiced, jacked all around the square. Is going to be. I'm glad I'm here and not there. I got one last question for you. The court storming. You're at Indiana, a program with that tradition.
Right.
It was a number 1 team. It was Purdue. Is court storming allowed? Is it frowned upon? Where are we on that?
Okay. So, this is I don't know what you want to call it. I'm going to just be transparent. I don't know if this is the post-traumatic coach night experience. It's like, what are they doing? I'm like, what are they doing? They can't be out there on the court. No, get away from the players. I'm saying like, no, evolve. It's okay. You just want, because again, that's why you go to IU, Jim. You go to IU for this very moment right here. Even if I'm just a civilian, I'm a regular student. I'm getting ready to study for my exams, whatever. Man, I got a chance to storm the court. I'm on the court. Like, this is the stuff you tell your grandkids, and now you show that picture, that Snapchat. Man, I'm all for it. I'm all for the evolution of the game. As long as it's done in a fair way where no one's hurting anybody. But I think on ESPN, some fans were throwing stuff on the court. Like, you don't want stuff like that to hinder.
No, I did hear that someone threw a half-eaten donut into the Purdue huddle.
Stuff like that. Like, I'm not for that. Right?
I'm not either. Although it is kind of funny. The funnier thing is that wasn't the first announcement they made. They made an announcement that if anyone throws something on the court, that Indiana is going to be assessed a technical foul.
Right.
Well, then later they made a second announcement, and I guarantee you, painters out there going, "What the hell? You've already said it once. You gave them a warning. Why are you giving them a warning? Why aren't you giving them a technical?" But how about Zach Edey drawing 3 fouls today? That's as many as he's had all season, I think.
Yeah, that's again, for me, we were talking about this. A guy that big, you don't have to do anything but just get it and turn and go.
Breathe on him, man.
There's no, you don't need to shimmy, shake back. Just get it, turn and go. Right? I'm glad. I mean, hopefully he's not listening to us clean up his game. But just get it, turn and go. Get him deep in the paint, repost and go.
Charlie Miller, the great one. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, man, thank you, Jim. I appreciate the opportunity, brother.
Attack basketball. Don't forget it. We're back with more on Monday for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. I can't wait. All of our from our good friends Andy Moore Honda, and of course the Endeavor Hospitality Wild Club, BB's, and all those. Make sure you go out and stop by. Until Monday, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Keep attacking.